Hello my beautiful people, my dragonflies, welcome back to my video, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jai. If you do not know, I'm back more than ever. This channel is going to consist of gaming, my music, and reaction videos here and there. So yeah, we're back and more powerful than ever, you know. This is MR.NIGHTMARE, and this is scariest Snapchats people have received. And I will do 2 videos in one. MR.NIGHTMARE. So this is scary Snapchat people have received. I don't have Snapchat, but for some reason, people are still following me. I haven't even used it. It's not even downloaded on my phone. Alright.
Snapchat has become a staple in today's social media world. It's a convenient way to contact friends and keep in touch with people. But as we've seen over and over on this channel, there can be a few privacy concerns if you're not careful. Let's just jump right into it and look at 3 disturbing snaps people have received.
Yes, people are weird. Bedroom, window.
For the sake of the person who sent me this, I'll refer to her as Maria.
Okay.
Maria has an Instagram account with 5,000 followers, which is a decent amount, and so she gets a good amount of attention on her profile from men. Maria has a boyfriend who has not appeared in any pictures of hers on her Instagram. Maria also had her Snapchat username in her Instagram bio, something a lot of people do to allow their acquaintances and friends to add them on the app with ease. This can also open the door to unwanted contact, though. Although she didn't add everybody back who added her on Snap, she at one point had her privacy settings set to allow all people to send her messages and snaps, even people she didn't add back. So, somewhat often she'd receive messages and snaps from random guys, usually guys that followed her on Instagram. In her words, often older and creepy looking, but according to her, younger guys managed to look creepy by taking weird angled selfies in dark rooms. Usually the snaps were pretty harmless like this. But one day, she received a snap that would lead to her getting the police involved.
So they send you random
Maria
videos?
lives with her family, but often stays at her boyfriend's first-floor apartment. This location is not known to anybody except for her close friends who know of her boyfriend, making it all the more disturbing when she received this snap. It was a picture taken through the window to her boyfriend's bedroom. At the time the photo was taken, it's hard to see it in the dark, but Maria was in the bed napping, and her boyfriend was in the living room watching football. There was no caption to the Snapchat, making it appear to be some kind of subtle threat.
That's how you turn the location, a
Snapchat. Until much later in the night, while going through snaps she'd received from various people she didn't know. By this time, it was a couple hours after the snap had been sent. She panicked and screenshotted the snap and showed it to her boyfriend. From here, he replied to the account on her phone, asking, "Who is this?" Upon adding the person back, they saw the account had a pretty high snap score, which, for those of you who may not know, a person's snap score represents how many times they have received or sent a snap. This account having a snap score in the 50,000 range meant it wasn't likely just a random spam account. The person replied, "John, LOL." Maria's boyfriend replied back, "We're calling the police," and John replied, "Okay, cool, let me know if you need help calling them." After this, the account blocked her, and the couple were left to wonder who this person was. A search through Maria's Instagram followers turned up multiple Johns, but with no last name on the account, it would simply be a guess as to who it could be. That same night, as the couple was sleeping, a crash from the living room woke them up. As Maria's boyfriend ran to check the source of the noise, he found it was the dining room window, which had been shattered, and on the floor was a house brick, presumed to have been taken from a house being renovated down the block.
Get the knife.
If the couple didn't have a case before, they definitely did now, and they called 911 to report the incident. Now that a police report had been made, police would subpoena Snapchat for information on this person's account in hopes to locate the person. The couple was assigned a detective to their case, who was supposed to help in identifying the mystery person. However, as the days turned into weeks, little to no information was given.
You're fired.
It did become apparent, however,
Get a new
that the
job.
Snapchat account had been either deleted or banned, because it no longer came up under search results. Currently, Maria and her boyfriend have no idea who this person was, and any thought of it being a prank by a friend was out the window when their window was literally shattered by a brick. It can boil down to a stalker being jealous of her boyfriend, but this would also mean that Maria was followed to her boyfriend's house, and that the perpetrator would know where she lives as well. Luckily, with security cameras
being jealous of
what
you know
these kinds of crimes are becoming more difficult to get away with. But in cases like this, where there's an absence of any cameras, unfortunately people may still be able to pull these kinds of crimes off. 3 months later, and Maria and her boyfriend haven't seen any new activity at either of their homes.
Okay, good. But you crazy.
This next story comes from a college student named Tom from the University of Kentucky. Tom shares his location on the Snap Map feature, which if you've been around my channel for a while, you know how things can sometimes turn out with that. Tom lives in a house off campus with 4 friends in a downtown area by a bunch of bars.
Okay.
The squad of guys often walk to and from these bars at night on the weekends. The night in question was no exception. Tom was on his way home from a nearby college bar, about a 15-minute walk from the house. At some point while walking home, he was on a quiet residential street with woods on one side, and he heard someone walking behind him. He turned to see a man holding out something in front of him, walking about 10 meters behind him. He couldn't tell what he was holding.
I'm just going for a
He
little
didn't stare
jog.
for too long because he didn't want to draw negative attention to himself. He noted that something about the sight of the man seemed ominous, though. The man was behind Tom for a while, until he turned to the block with his house on it. At some point before making it back, the man was no longer behind him, at least not that he thought. It was only after he made it back inside the house that he got a notification that he received a snap from his friend Luke, one of his housemates, who was home at the time. Luke had lost his phone that night, though, so receiving a snap from his Snapchat account meant that somebody had his phone. Tom called his housemates downstairs before opening the video. He also turned a screen recorder on to capture the snap, and this is what they saw.
Come on. Getting juicy. Oh, tahini. It's getting juicy. Okay, who is... Oh. This is the guy that was filming it. What? Walk fast, mind your business. Yes.
The snap was a video of Tom walking down the street towards his house. It was the man he had seen walking behind him, and what he was holding out in front of him was apparently Luke's phone. They had the idea to check the location of Luke's phone on the Snap Map, since he had his location enabled, as did Tom. The location of his Bitmoji was last updated 9 minutes ago, and its location was right on top of their house. So the 3 guys who were currently home ran around the entire property with all the outside lights on to light up the area. They didn't find the man with the phone, but oddly enough, Luke's Bitmoji moved just a tad as it updated again, yet it was still on top of the house, meaning whoever had the phone had to be somewhere that they were overlooking. After a while, the guys thought to lock the phone using the Find My iPhone feature
He might be
and
in
have
house.
it play a sound. When they did this, they were confused to hear the beeping sound of the phone coming from inside the house, followed by stomping of someone's shoes and the front door slamming shut. Luke's beeping phone was still inside the house, but instead of going straight for that, the 3 guys ran outside to chase after whoever just ran out the front door. By the time they made it out onto the street, they had no idea which way the person went. They were out of sight and they could have been hiding anywhere. After checking the neighbors' yards, the guys went back inside to retrieve Luke's beeping phone, and Tom claims they found it right in the pantry closet, meaning the man was hiding in there for however long. At first, one could have maybe assumed that the person who had the phone was trying to return it, until it was discovered that that person was literally hiding in their house. Assuming all the details of the story are true, if I had to guess, the man who had stolen Luke's phone knew who he was somehow and was following Tom through his Snapchat Bitmoji location all the way up to their house.
Ex-best friend, do you like me?
There are some missing details though, like how the phone was stolen, what the method of entry to the house was, and if Luke and the rest of the guys in the house had any sort of enemies or people out to get them. No police action was taken apparently.
Ratchet. The Snapchat
In 2015, an Australian Redditor with username Skinna555 took 3 Snapchat videos of his parents' exotic birds and put them on a Snapchat story. What followed next was downright disturbing. Skinna and his girlfriend recently moved into his childhood home with his parents while their own house was being built. Skinna's parents owned 3 Australian parrots.
Hocus
One night while he was home alone, he uploaded 3 Snapchat stories showing off the birds, since many people always asked about the birds.
I'd say the first one of my parents' little birds
It's gonna be a man
is this little guy.
in the window.
It is little Leo. He's a cockatiel. The second little bird of my parents is a rainbow lorikeet. His name is Oliver.
Over.
There he is.
Oh.
And here I am with my good little mate.
Oh shit.
Nothing.
About 15 minutes after uploading the videos to his story, Skinner receives a text from one of his friends. And at the bottom of it, it says, "By the way, what was that in the window behind you in the last one?" So after seeing this text, he went to rewatch the clips a couple of times and opened them on his computer to get a larger and clearer view of the videos. In the last snap, it almost appears as if someone is at the door, looking in with their hands cupped against it. But it's hard to say for sure because of how briefly the doors in the
It looks like a big
whatever
figure.
it was, he was not in the first snap when that same door was in full frame. Skinner was home alone at the time, and to add to the mystery, that door led to the backyard, which was only accessible through a single gate which had been locked. The theory that it might have been a reflection doesn't hold up, because the sliding glass door was half open, and all that stood between the figure and the inside of the room was the fly screen door, which would not have been able to cast any reflections. Whatever was at that door moved in the matter of seconds that passed between the first and third snap. When Skinner was a young child, around 10, he started to commonly experience sleep paralysis, which could get so intense that he'd find himself often not being able to breathe for short periods of time. And this led to a fear of sleeping for him. A couple of years went by, and his sleep paralysis tendencies would worsen. During his episodes, he could not move. It felt like something that meant him harm was in the room with him. Around the age of 14, he started to hear and see things like thuds and creaks. However, he always had one recurring vision, a faceless person looking in his bedroom window with their hands cupped up to the glass, similar to this image caught in his snap story. When he moved out at age 18, he never had another episode. So for a few days after these snaps, nothing happens. But come Friday night, Skinner found himself home alone again. At around 10:15 p.m., while playing games on Steam with his friends, he starts to hear some relatively loud banging, loud enough that he could hear it even through his headset. It was coming from the screen door outside.
Oh, they want you to get your attention.
He got up to film the sounds using his phone. The noises got louder and more frequent. Instead of outright opening the curtains and potentially finding himself face to face with someone on the other side, he walked through the kitchen into the laundry room to turn on the outside lights. Like I mentioned earlier, there's only one entry and exit to the backyard, the left side of the house through a locked gate. So with the back lights now on, he went over to a window that looks out to that one exit of the backyard. While waiting and expecting to see someone rushing out of the yard, a loud noise can be heard from outside on the opposite side of the house.
Hey, hold on.
He aims the camera at the window for a few moments, then turns on the kitchen lights, and seconds later stops recording.
Oh, oh, there. Take a breath.
He kept all the lights on until his parents returned home. He uploaded the videos to Reddit, and people started to help in examining the videos. After a few Redditors enhanced the videos, a big mass in the corner was revealed in the dining room. The figure begins to resemble a person. And to make it creepier, that figure is not there at the end of the video.
I got the
Skinner called the
chills.
police, and the video freaked even them out. They believe that a two-man team tried to rob his parents while they were away.
What?
Theoretically, when one would-be robber broke in and realized Skinner was home, the second one tried to make noise to lure him inside. But when it didn't work, he snuck out and escaped. Skinner doesn't entirely trust this theory, mainly because all the doors and windows were locked from the inside when they came in. So how exactly would these guys have gotten in? Years later, this just remains to be another internet mystery. And what actually went down, we may never know.
Alright, we're back with another video. This is Scary Videos Caught on Ring Cameras Volume 5. I think I probably saw some of these videos. I don't think I have. because there's videos that I watched called the DoorBell News, so it might be some videos, but I highly doubt it though.
If there's one thing I've learned from doing these ring videos, it's that having a drugged up person ringing your doorbell at off hours in the night is more likely than I would have ever thought.
'Cause I remember seeing her.
In this video, a confused looking man approaches a random porch holding what appears to be a plastic bag and a roll of toilet paper. Right from the moment he gets on the porch, you can tell something is off by his nervous, almost twitchy behavior. It appears the man could possibly be on meth or some other hard drug.
He said meth. That's funny. You put me on my sleep.
When the homeowner
That's what the dog is
enters through
saying.
the closed
That's what the
door,
dog is
the
saying.
man clearly has a hard time figuring out how to identify himself. And when his face gets close to the camera, you can see how dilated his pupils are, confirming he's definitely under the influence of drugs.
On that crack. On that crack.
This is, my name is James.
When the homeowner asks who he's looking for, pay attention to the name he gives.
Lord help them.
Sosa. Sammy?
The first name he
James,
gives is Sosa, and
Sosa,
then
Sammy.
Sosa, like the baseball player. It might have been the first name he could think of while trying to come up with a fake friend he was looking for.
What's your name? James. And who are you looking for? A friend of mine.
No friend of yours lives here, buddy. And I got a Glock over here ready for you. So if you don't get the fuck off my porch, I'm gonna unload it on your fucking face. Get the fuck off my porch.
Oh, he not playing. He playing no games.
The reason why he was trying to get into the house is anybody's guess, which is perhaps the scariest part of situations like this. The homeowner handled it perfectly by communicating through the door before opening it, and after catching on to the man's suspicious behavior, he made the man on his porch aware of the fact that he had a gun and was willing to use it. Even if he didn't actually have a gun, the threat was still an effective way to get the man away from his front door.
Nonchalant.
This next one is really disturbing. The person who uploaded this video is neighbors with the actual would-be victim. In the video caught by the Ring camera, 3 armed, masked men are seen approaching the front door to the house. The one in front armed with what appears to be an assault rifle. The masked man who approached the door keeps trying to block the view of the camera with his glove. Though there's no sound, it seems they're contemplating continuing their attempted break-in due to the doorbell camera. Based on body language, it appears the one with the assault rifle is apprehensive, but one of his accomplices motions for him to go back to the door multiple times. Since the camera was covered by the person's glove for most of the footage, we can't see what exactly they were doing for most of it, but luckily the homeowner didn't answer the door, and the 3 armed men were not able to enter the house. The following footage is viewer submitted. In the video, there's a man standing there in front of the house, cursing, seemingly talking to himself for 10 to 15 minutes. Without a little background context, it wouldn't exactly be unsettling per se, but when you learn why the man is standing there, it becomes a little more uncomfortable. A family member of the homeowner was mauled by a pack of dogs and bitten at least 12 times. The man who owned the dogs came to their house and stood on the front step muttering and cursing for 15 minutes until the police came.
Wait, what? What happened?
A family member of the homeowner was mauled by a pack of dogs and bitten at least 12 times. The man who owned the dogs came to their house and stood on the front step muttering and cursing for 15 minutes until the police
those your
came.
dogs?
Never had a problem with her, never had no issues. I never denied that shit that the dog fucking bit her or nothing. Never denied none of that crap. Never denied none of that. But there they were. And then her too, the damn neighbor fucking came out there and her, why the fuck out there in that neighbor's idiotic, man. And fucking white people too, like it's dumb. It's fucking dumb. They're gonna put all the dogs to sleep over a fucking dog fight. A dog fight. A freaking dog fight. When the hell did I come threaten her? When the hell did I even make that she thinks I don't know where she lives? I've been knowing. I've been knowing.
The man seemed unstable just from the video alone.
So you're treating your
factoring in the
dog.
fact that he owned a pack of untrained, aggressive dogs. This one is a great example of why situational awareness is so important. A couple's Ring doorbell video caught a duo of wigged, armed aggressors who had been following them home. The couple said they were walking home when a man and woman started following them all the way to their front door, where the male aggressor pointed a gun at the back of their heads.
Oh, God. Trifling. Trifling.
Luckily, the couple hurried in and slammed the door shut first thing. The wigged aggressors turned and ran towards their getaway vehicle, laughing.
You know, you will never get nowhere in
Another
life
person at
doing
gunpoint,
that.
this time successfully. Luckily, only one day after the video was released to the media, a person who recognized the male gunman turned him in and he was arrested, though his name hasn't been released to the public. If the couple had not immediately gone inside and slammed the door, who knows what may have happened. This next one is an example of how just the presence of a doorbell camera can be a deterrence. Here we see a man in an apartment complex going up to somebody's door, pretending to be police so that the person on the other side would open up. Whether he knew the people who lived there or not is unknown, but obviously whatever would have happened if the door was opened wouldn't have been good.
That's why it's good to have
Police!
a peephole too.
As soon as he glances over to the camera, you can see the expression on his face that says it all. And a couple seconds later, he leaves, and it sounds like he says, "Oh shit, I'm in the wrong one."
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Which my take on it would be he realized what he just did was all on video. So to play it off or give himself some sort of out, he thought by saying he's at the wrong room on video would somehow save himself from possible incrimination. This one is really upsetting, but thankfully no one got hurt. On September 14th of 2022, two armed masked men entered the home of an elderly couple.
Okay, I'm back. My camera got full. Or what?
But if you listen closely, you can hear the elderly woman tell the robbers that her husband had hip surgery as they were ordering him to hurry up and get up. And then the old man himself says it as he struggles to get up and make his way to the closet door.
That's trifling.
Once the couple's in the closet, the robbers soon leave as one carries out a safe while the other grabs a wallet and the couple's phones.
This is so sad and trifling.
There were apparently tens of thousands of dollars in that safe belonging to someone who was staying with the couple. Police identified the two suspects as Mitchell Boney Jr., who was 25, and Tyree DeMont Boney Jr., who was 22. Mitchell actually turned himself in and was charged with armed burglary, use of a firearm, abduction, and
Come on, my
conspiracy
brother, you have to
burglary.
do better.
Tyree is still allegedly on the run. Perhaps the scariest part of this is that they clearly knew where the safe was. Tyree wasted no time going straight for where the safe was.
Why do you look?
Anyone who was in the house,
He looks
such as
skinny
a
on his
repairman, home healthcare worker,
in the video.
or
Then
anyone, could have
Loki.
seen the safe and relayed this information to other people, which is why you should always be careful of who's in your house and what they see.
Stealing with you nowhere. Because the more you steal, the more you're gonna do it. Because you no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Never steal. Because you're stealing from your blessings. So I'm just Nightmare, Snapchat, scary videos called Ring cameras. Ring cameras, they come in handy. Best believe. Good thing you have a game camera, because what's wrong with people? That's all I know. Yeah, so that's Mr. Nightmare, Snapchat, scary videos caught on camera. Keep yourself protected. Keep yourself safe. God, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have the most awesome day. Stay grateful, stay blessed. Until next time, love you.